Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this week's video, we'll be learning about surface area. It's a relatively kind of advanced lesson, just depends on your level. And before I get started, I actually want to show you guys how you can give me suggestions for my videos. So let's get into it. From my homepage, click the discussion page. From there, you should see an option to add a public comment. Go ahead and type your comment and make sure you press the blue comment button to publish your comment publicly. Now let's talk about surface area. So before we do this, I want to just break this down. So area, we know what area is. It's length times width. So let's say that length is x and the width is y, then x times y is equal to xy, which is the area. Now surface area is a lot different than area. So let's go ahead and see what surface area means. So let's say we have this cube. Well, in this case, the surface area, what we're going to do is we're going to take the area, which we know how to find, of each and every square. And there are 6 faces, or squares, and then we add those all up to get the surface area. So let's say this is the surface area of 1. So if we add all 6 of them, because there are 6 faces in a cube, then you should get the surface area because you're measuring the area of all the surfaces of the cube, which is how we get surface area. Let's say the thing is 6 by 6 by 6. So we have our cube, and one side is 6 by 6, which is 36. Now we have to do this another 6 times, another 5 times, but because there are 6 total faces. And also, if you're wondering how I got 36, 6 times 6, go ahead and watch my video about exponents. Now if we do 36 plus 36 plus 36, all like just 6 times, then we should get the surface area because we're getting the area of all the different sides added up. So our answer is 216, and whenever we're dealing with area, we always have units squared or feet squared depending on what the problem gives us. But we don't have any units, so we just put units squared. Now let's go on to finding the surface area of a different kind of prism. Instead of a cube, we're going to try and find the surface area of a triangular prism. It's all the same, it's like the same concept, you're trying to find the area of all the sides added up. Let's say we have 3, 4, 5 like triangle, and then the length is 10. So we have, in this case, 2 triangles on both ends. And how do we find the area of a triangle? Well, it's base times height divided by 2. And since there are 2 of them, we can actually just skip kind of the divide by 2 because there are anyways 2 of them, and if we multiply by 2, the 2's are going to cancel out. So in this case we have 12, and then we're also going to find the area of all the different faces. We have 5 times 10, 3 times 10, and 4 times 10. Now if we add those all up, we get 132. So we just try and find the area of all the different faces and we add them all up. That's just the basic concept of surface area. So as you can see, I'm just highlighting all the different how we got each multiplication equation, and each color corresponds to the face on the triangular prism. Now let's go on to our last and final one, which is a rectangular prism. Now this one's going to be a bit different because the other one we had a lot more sides that are different. This one we have a couple more sides that are different. Let's say we have 3 and 10. I'm just going to label it here. And by the way, if you see a dashed line, that means like we don't see it. It's just we don't see those lines. I just dot them so that you can reference kind of the different faces. So let's go ahead and try and find the surface area of this one. So we have 2 3 by 5 rectangles. So we know 3 times 5, which is 15, times 2, which is 30, because we have 2 of them, remember? Now, let's go on to the front and back faces, which are the same as well. we have 3 by 10, which is 30 times 2 because there are 2 of them, 60. And let's go on to the top and bottom ones. We have 5 times 10 times 2 because there are 2 of them, and that equals 100. And if we add that all up, we get 190. So I'm going to do a very similar thing to what I did before. I'm going to go ahead and underline how we got each equation, like which side it corresponds to. Now you all are going to do a practice problem all by yourselves. So let's say we have a triangular prism. I wanted to challenge you guys and give you a triangular prism. And let's say it's the same like triangle 3, 4, 5, but instead it's 30. I want you guys to find the surface area, and I'll give you 1 minute. Did you do it? Let's check. So first we're going to find the area of the triangles, and there are 2 of them, remember? So the area of a triangle is base times height over 2, which is the formula we discussed. So we have 2 because we have 2 of them, and then 3 by 4, and then the 2's cancel out, just the same thing. So it's 2, or 12, sorry. Now let's go ahead and try to find the faces, the area of the faces. So the first one we have 5 times 30. 5 times 30, there are no other sides that have those same lengths, so we know it's 150, and there's only one of them. If we go ahead and do that for the back one, it's 3 by 30 instead. 3 by 30 is equal to 90. Lastly, let's go on to the bottom, and that's 4 by 30. And 4 by 30 is 120. If we add those all up, including the 12, we cannot forget it, we get 372 units squared. So we're going to do a very similar thing, and I'm just going to go ahead and correspond. So this part, I just drew like a kind of like a bracket. It applies to the triangles. The back green one applies to the 3 by 30. The yellow one obviously applies to the 4 by 30, and the red one applies to the 5 by 30. Congrats, you made it to the end of this video. Whether it's you needed help with this concept, you wanted some extra practice, or you just wanted to review, I hope you learned something or got some practice in. It would mean the world to me if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. It just tells me if I need to improve anything. And remember, I showed you in the beginning of the video how to give me recommendations for my videos. So go ahead and refer back to that to learn how to give me recommendations on my videos if my comments are turned off. Bye!